Barbershop conversations, man. Frank Martin, I'll say this, man. Everyone has a bad outing. Shakur Stevenson had a bad outing against the African. Um, who else had? Keyshawn Johnson haven't had a bad outing. Tank Davis looked average against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Uh, he let Gamboa go 12 rounds with him. Who else in that division? Has Devin Haney had a bad performance? Nah, he got clipped once against um, the fast hand kid. I'm drawing a blank on his name. And everyone has bad outings, man. Everyone has bad outings. Now, I will say this. If you go to my Instagram, you can see I thought Frank Martin was losing. I thought he was down by 1 point. I thought he needed another knockdown for a draw. You could hear me screaming like, "Go get him, Frank! Go get him, Frank!" Um, uh, um, I thought Frank Martin was well below average. I thought Frank Martin couldn't change his game plan. Like it was like, and the game plan was be first behind the jab, use your angles, turn them. You know what I mean? It was no head movement. It was no feints. It was really, really weird to see a guy of that athletic prowess, right? Is that the word prowess? To be so mediocre. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't get out of like you guys know how Derrick James fighters fight, like high guard and you know what I mean, stay behind. Everything is right, left or left, right, you know. He just couldn't get out of it. Like, you know what I mean? He couldn't get out of it, dog. And I, you know, and also, I thought the end of the fight was kind of weird. I ain't even gonna tell you, dog. I ain't even gonna lie. Because he took a knee, right? And uh, and then at the end of the fight, he says Earl Spence is his idol. He never once complained about the judges. I thought that was weird. I thought the fight was close enough where he could have said he won, but the man just said he wanted an opportunity. Now, we can talk about conspiracy theories or whatever you want to talk about. Yada, yada, yada. Was the fight fixed? I don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of the punches Frank Martin threw was deflected. Like, even when he landed his big counter left, it didn't land flush, you know? I thought the CompuBox was off. You know what I mean? People saying he landed the most punches, but that's misleading because you can have dominant couple rounds like he did in round 6 and round 12. You understand what I'm saying? I thought the guy was just on ring generalship. You know, like people were just judging the fight off of landed punches. I thought ring generalship the first half of the fight, the guy was clearly. I mean, I couldn't give him a round. Maybe the second and the sixth. Maybe the second. Was it the second? I'm drawing a blank, but I know it was the sixth. You know, maybe the fourth. Outside of that, dog, it was really, really hard. The championship rounds, I thought he won. I thought the guy took his foot off the gas. Whatever his name is. But it was really, really telling, dog. He got to be able to get out of like the robotic stage, like um, like not you can't be Earl Spence, Frank Martin. You're not Earl Spence. All right. High guard, stay behind the jab. That's who Earl Spence is. Earl Spence is that. Earl Spence can make adjustments. You never saw shots on the same side of the body. You know what I mean? He never committed to a punch really. You know what I mean? It was really, really weird. I ain't even gonna tell you. It was really, really weird. Um, because he's so freakish athletic. He's so freakish athletic. And then doing the simulcast, they quote Frank Martin and they say, his footwork is the best part of his game. And the guy didn't use his footwork. Like at the end of the day, I tell all my basketball players, it's a footwork. It's a footwork fight. It's not a physical fight. It's a footwork fight. In basketball, I tell them in practice, it's a footwork fight. It's not a basketball fight. It's a footwork fight. It's not a boxing match. It's a footwork fight. Get your footwork down, and you will, in high school, and especially no matter, just in general, you will have a complete advantage. You understand? And under control footwork, like Sean Porter had fast feet, but didn't have discipline. He didn't have the disciplines of proper footwork. You know what I mean? Sean would crowd his punches and say he had the effort and the energy and everything else, but he had the intangibles, but he didn't have the tangibles. I believe Frank Martin has the tangibles. I believe Frank Martin got the twitch, the fast twitch muscle fibers. I believe he looked like he has running back feet. He looks like he has looks like he has wide receiver feet. You know, I'm like, you know, I played wide receiver in college, and me transferring over from basketball made me an above average wide receiver just based off of footwork. And because I played point guard, you know, I knew how to catch the ball because I'm always dribbling, passing it, and getting the ball back. So that's why point guards can always catch, pass, and shoot for the most part. Have an understanding of it, I should say, because we're always passing it and always getting it back. We get the ball out of bounds and we dribble the ball up the court. So we're always doing a pass and catch exercise when we receive the ball. But and these are mundane reps that we don't really include. I think Frank Martin is better than what he gave off last night. I really believe he can give more. He just couldn't get out of that motherfucking robotic phase, man. He was like a robot in there. I think and Derrick James said, you need a knockout, dog. Derrick James, and here's why Derrick James is a good trainer. Here's why Derrick James is a good trainer. The man didn't wait till the 12th round to say the man needed a knockout. The man gave his fighter 9 minutes to go and get the knockout. That's why Derrick James gets the big bucks, man. That's why everybody's going to Derrick James. He's honest with his fighters, dog. No, you need a knockout, dog. You need a knockout, you know. And then the scorecards. Frank Martin didn't even need the 12th round. 115, 112. That means it was 114, 112 going into the 12th round on 2 scorecards. That means he already had the majority decision. Weird, man. Weird. No way going into the 12th round can you give me Frank Martin 7-4. No way. No way, dog. No way. You can't find 7 rounds to give Frank Martin through 11. No way. No, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. If you can find 7 rounds, help me find 7 rounds to give Frank Martin through 11 rounds. Not counting round 12. No way. No way. It's no way. I'm willing to bet Earl Spence can't find 7 rounds to give Frank. Well, how did he missed? The man missed, man. The man was out there trigger shot like he couldn't get it off, man. He should have went back. He should have combined Derrick James, how he teaches his fighters, right, with his athleticism, man. You know what I mean? He got that Gary Russell athleticism, man. I don't know, man. But anyways, don't hang your hat on this, man. He can come back and blitz his next opponent. He got to be agile and mobile, man. He got to be agile and mobile. That's how God made you, dog. You know, being robotic, you're not Frank Martin. You're not Earl Spence. I repeat, you're not Earl Spence. And I already know how other people going to spin this and say, they're not going to talk bad about you. Everybody going to say you won because they want to kiss Earl Spence's ass. No. I respect Earl Spence. Yeah, I know I have the great 100% admiration for Earl Spence. But if you don't tell these motherfuckers the truth, if you don't tell these young men the truth, they're going to go on believing a lie. And the truth is, Frank Martin, you won the fight. I thought you lost by 1 point. I thought you needed one more knockdown to get the draw. You just wasn't active enough the first 6 rounds, man. You just wasn't throwing no punches. And half the punches they say you were landing, they showed the review, they didn't even land. You know what I mean? And the same holds true for the other kid, but he kept him busy in the high guard. Frank Martin is not a high guard fighter. I repeat, Frank Martin is not a high guard fighter. Nah, he's too athletic. He's too mobile. He's too agile. He's too athletic. You know, I mean, his athleticism is ahead of his IQ, but he's a hell of a fighter. And I know Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis, I haven't seen their reactions yet, but I know what they're going to say. He can hold his own in the ring with any of those three guys. Whether he wins or loses, I don't know. I will have him as the underdog against maybe all three of them based off of this last performance. But he can hold his own. I believe he can hold his own. He can win. He had one bad performance, man. I want to see what he looks like because now he got to step up. So I really want to see. But another thing, too, lastly, the motherfucker paid for a WBC title eliminator. Boy, the pimp game is real. How many WBC title eliminators have all PBC fighters fought? I mean, every fight. WBC title eliminator, and they never get a title shot, right? Erickson Lubin comes to mind. David Benavidez comes to mind. Sean Porter fought a lot of them. I mean, he must have fought like 4 of them, man, before he got the shot. Everyone at 154 is a WBC title eliminator. You get that little medallion. Boy, the pimp game is strong, isn't it? Isn't it? Pimp game is strong. But he ain't getting no shot at no WBC belt, man. You better try and get them Tank sweepstakes, man. Frank Martin, you ain't getting that shot. I want to see if they put you in there with Tank. I don't want to see Isaac Cruz. I would like to see Frank Martin versus Tank Davis. If Tank Davis ain't going to fight Devin Haney at 135, you know what I mean? He needs to go fight Frank Martin. It makes sense, you know, but it is what it is. I thought Frank Martin lost by 1 point, which is fine. So that means it's not a robbery. He just looked bad. You know, when you lose by 1 point, you can go either way. You know what I mean? No harm, no foul. But I will say he needs to combine that. He's Frank Martin. You're not Earl Spence. I'm just going to repeat. I know he's your brother. I know he's your boy. I know Derrick James, but you're not him. You're not him. You're not an Olympian. You know what I mean? So you got to use those unrefined skills to make that a part of your asset package. You got to turn your unrefined athletic skills a part of your refined package. So that means you got to get in the ring and work on that. You know, you have that circular footwork drill that you can use. You know, they got that thing you can put in the center of the ring, and you jump in, then you turn, you jump in, not jump in, you step in and you turn, you step in and you turn, you go under, you lead with the jab, counter, jab, change the speeds of your jab, up, jab. You know what I mean? You gotta make turning. Like how Teofimo did Lomachenko. You gotta turn, you gotta turn, you gotta turn, you gotta turn. You gotta trust your damn your cardiovascular. You know what I mean? I'm back training athletes now, you know, basketball players. So I'm in my bag. You know what I mean? I'm in my bag. But yeah, man, you look the part. You got the genetic makeup. You come from a professional. Your cousin's a linebacker. So that means it's in you, dog. It's in you. You just got to combine it. You got to combine Derrick James with your skill set. You know what I mean? You got to combine it and you got to match it. You can't be Earl Spence behind the high guard. Your reach is too short. You don't have the reach of an Earl Spence to stay behind the high jab, catch. And it's hard to counter from a high guard. It's really, really hard to counter, not unless you drop your left hand. You can't counter from here. The only way you can counter from the high guard stance is if you got to drop your left hand. But then if you're fighting against an A-level fighter, they know that when you come here, you can't counter. So in the moment that you drop your hand, they're going to reset you. Shakur Stevenson's going to reset you all night, and you're not going to be able to land that hammer. You're not going to be able to lay that left hand brick because they're too smart. They're too fucking good. You know what I mean? And I know this is a high level conversation, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you gotta combine that shit, you know what I mean, and fight. You know what I mean? Like Emmanuel Stewart told Lennox Lewis, why the fuck you have a high guard? It's 6 inches. Can you go from here to here? Lennox Lewis is like, yeah. He says, well, fuck, you ain't gotta motherfucking come high guard all the time. You can come here. And you can see the punch, you just come here, come here. But you know what I mean? Just shit you gotta work on. So I think Derrick James is great for him. I think Derrick James told him the truth. And I also believe you got to get out of that Derrick to win at the A level. To beat these guys, no, you know what I mean? It's cool. But to beat a Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, but you're going to fight for a vacant title. So that's what it looks like. Once Devin goes up, the WBC is like, who wants it? Bob, Eddie, Al, who wants it? Who got the most? You got that payola. So, but move on. People gonna clown you, say you're not ready. No. I disagree. I think Frank Martin is ready for anybody, but he gotta have the training. You gotta have the training. Derrick James gotta make him not like, you gotta help him understand that how he trains his fighters works. You can't refute the Derrick James pedigree. We're not debating that. Jermell Charlo and Earl Spence, right? But Frank Martin has something that Earl Spence and Jermell Charlo don't have. He got better feet. You know what I mean? He got athletic feet. You know what I mean? In the Sean Porter fight, you could see Sean Porter had quicker feet. But if Sean Porter had trained quicker feet, it would have been a tougher night. But Earl Spence don't have that. You know what I mean? He's a well-conditioned, he's operational. Earl Spence is more operational. Frank Martin, you got to get out of that mold. You got to combine Derrick James and that shit. You know, I'm not a boxing trainer, so whatever language they use, but I saw the pedigree. I saw the answer to your test last night, and you didn't move to your right. You didn't move to your right. Turn them. Even if you didn't land the punch, the mental stress of having that guy turn, he would have got frustrated. And then you could have led with the left hand, you know what I mean? Because he think the jab is coming. You throw the jab for 2 rounds, then you pivot and lay your brick. You know what I mean? You could have fucked him up. Oh, anyways, man, barbershop conversation. I didn't know this video was going to be 20 minutes. Y'all have a wonderful day. Spence Crawford in 2 weeks. We're literally less than 2 weeks away. I can't wait. I believe I sold 1 pay-per-view last night. I literally sold 1 pay-per-view last night. So I'm going to pat myself on the back because I sold 1 pay-per-view. My college teammate, and you guys know we do our annual thing once a year. He says he's buying the Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford fight. We watched All Access last night. So I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'll interview him when he wakes up. And I'll tell him, I'll say, you buying the fight? And we'll do it like that. I'm going, y'all. Peace.